So who here knows about DNA sequencing? What DNA sequencing is? Everybody? Okay, who knows how much it cost 7 or 8 years ago to have your whole genome sequenced? How much?
A lot.
A lot. Like $1 billion a lot. Like $3 billion a lot, actually. Who knows how much it costs today to get your genome sequenced? Sub $10,000. That's a pretty crazy thing, because that's about 1 million times cheaper in, not a very long time. So reading DNA, reading all the letters of the human code, it's an interesting thing. But what I think is what's even more interesting than reading all the letters and all things that exist is actually the ability to create, to make life using DNA. Code, synthetic DNA. So who knows today how much it would cost to make you? How much are you?
A lot.
How much? 1 billion? 3 billion? About a little bit more. About 3 billion. So everybody out there is a little too expensive for us to make synthetically. And even small organisms like microbes cost about $1 million to make for 1 million letters. And why is this the case? Why is it the case that sequencing was so expensive? Why is it the case that transistors used to cost $1 each, and an iPhone worth of transistors cost more than the GDP of many small European countries? Well, the reason is because it became massively parallel. It went from making a transistor or reading a strand of DNA one at a time to doing millions and now billions at a time. In science, it's funny. I mean, people think scientists are they're smart, and they are, but they are very focused. And oftentimes, communities, I think, get distracted, and they don't focus maybe always on the most important problems. When I worked in microfluidics, there was a material called PDMS that was horrible. It was awful, but everyone used it because it was easy, and it was easy to publish papers on. Well, there's a small little dirty secret that people don't really talk about, biologists don't talk about, and that it's too damn expensive to actually make anything interesting in biology. To date, everything in biology, that's talking about mostly genetic engineering here, has been using basically a pair of scissors to cut out one thing that exists in a species like a tree and then pasting it into a microbe or pasting it into something else. And that technology is boring, and it's laborious, and it's not any fun. And so grad students are sacrificed in the lab every day, doing this awful thing called cloning, or cutting and pasting out genes and putting them in different things, and making different combinations of things. But it's really just an awful process. What if we could take life and actually, instead of just cutting and pasting things and relying on the fact that we're all similar to different species, but instead actually write life like we write software when we make computers, that runs in computers. And why can't we do that? What is so crazy about that? Well, it isn't such a crazy thing. And if you have enough money, you can actually do it. You can actually make a full million base pair creature that boots up and lives, that came out of a computer. It's possible today. Craig Venter did it in 2010. The issue is that you can't, unless you have $1 million. Who has $1 million? Some of the companies here might want to meet with you. But most people, they don't have the resources simply to be able to make things. So what we do is we make DNA, and we make it in a massively parallel nature. And by doing that, we're able to reduce the cost significantly. We have I guess, a great team. We've raised about $1.5 million from 17 investors. I got an email from DARPA today, so we're now working with the U.S. military. But it's a small-time operation in San Francisco. If you come see it, it's a plant, it's a manufacturing space. But what we're doing is very important, because literally everything that you see, materials that you think are, like plastics even, are made in plants. And, the air we breathe comes from the biological things that live on this planet. And then, of course, there's us, which some people, think is important. And so the ability to program and control life is a really important thing. And I think we're very close, actually, to seeing it play out where we can all become, genetic designers. And that eventually things like, everyone will have an iPhone, everyone has, ability to have their genome sequence. Everyone out there, all of you guys in the crowd are going to be able to use computer design tools to actually write code and to make interesting living things. And I think that's going to be a really fun future. My name is Austin. The company is called CambrianGenomics. And we are located in downtown San Francisco, 665 3rd Street. If anybody here actually this week wants to come by and see the laser lab, meet with a lot of really great people, we'd love to have you by and show you kind of what it's all about. I founded the company with George Church at Harvard, John Mulligan, the founder of the world's first gene synthesis company, Reese Jones, who's actually a trustee here. That's how we're a Singularity company. Anselm Laskaya from Stanford, Sagarinder Kaya from MIT, Lukman Winoto from UCSF, and just a lot of great people. So if you want to come by and see what a next generation synthesis is, what a DNA fabrication facility looks like, you're definitely welcome. Thanks.